Buddho loke samupano hitaya sabhapaninam. Dhammo loke samupano sukhaya sabhapaninam. Sangho loke samupano punyang khetang anutarang. Loke tinai lokama Buddho chararya satyalaya yathartha ruple Buddh karne arahang samma sambuddho Sabba paninang sampurna prani haruko Hitaya lokik lokutar hit sukalyan konimti Samupano उदयाएका सूर्य झैं उत्पत्ति भई बक्सिनु भयो धम्मो मार्ग ज्ञान फल ज्ञान निर्वाण परियति जम्मा 10वटा धर्म सुखाया देव मनुष्य निर्वाण 3 प्रकारको सुख हुनको निम्ति समुपन्नो राम्रो गरी उत्पत्ति भई निक्लेर आयो अनुत्तरं समतुल्य बराबर नभई उत्तम हुनुभएको पुण्य खेताङ कुशल पुण्य बिजाको थुप्रो रोप्ने मलिलो खेतबारी जस्तै हुनुभएको सङ्घो 4 मार्ग स्थान 4 फल स्थान जम्मा उत्तम अष्टहरिया सङ्घ समुपन्न उदय आएका सूर्य झैं उत्पत्ति भई बक्सिनु भयो इति पिसो भगवा अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो विद्या चरण सम्पन्नो सुगतो लोकविदु अनुत्तरो पुरिष धम्म सारथि सत्था देव मनुष्यानं बुद्धो भगवाति. Okay, so now we are in our 12th question of Subha. So his question is, what is the reason for someone to become wise? Yesterday we not yet finished highborn, right? Okay, what is the reason for someone to be highborn? So to have a good life, the Buddha say, he gives way to those who are worthy of giving way. He stands up to those who are worthy of standing up. He respects, he honors his elders and those who are worthy of respect and honor. So when we accumulate such wholesome karma in life after life, we will have good birth, high birth, in a noble family, in a rich family, and in very high class family. So one of the examples here is of Venerable Bhante. So he was the second prince, brother to Venerable Anuruddha and others, second princes, no? So Venerable Bhante, in his past life, during Pachika Buddha time, he had paid great homage, paid great respect to the Buddha and the Sangha, offering meals and also wishing to become one of the great disciple of the Buddha, who is greatest in the high birth. So to have high birth, he understood what karma he should do. He understood that he had to pay respect to bhikkhus. He understood he had to pay respect to those who have better sila, to those who have better samadhi, to those who are wiser than him. So, paying all those things in mind, he offered lunch and other dana to the Buddha together with 100,000 Arahantas. Then Padumuttara Buddha had given him the prophecy that during the time of Gautama Buddha, his wish will come true. So here we should understand, if we have all these things when we are doing a karma, whatever we wish will become true. The first thing, we should have sila. If we have sila, then that is the first thing. The second thing, whenever we are doing some kamma, dana, bhavana, so those things should be done rightly, correctly. So if we are practicing, we should practice correctly. If you are giving dana, we should receive those things with correct conduct. Samma ajiva. We should have samma ajiva. Then the third thing we should consider is our knowledge of kamma and kamma results. So we believe that by doing these kammas and by wishing for these things, if the time is correct, it will be true. Why? Because the one Buddha already have mentioned, silawantang silawanto sabbang ichcham paripurati. So those who have good sila, whatever they wish will become true. Why did the Buddha say this? Because all of his great disciples, they wish to become the great disciple of the Buddha by observing sila and doing kusala. That's why their wish became true. Then the last thing is, have to practice meditation up to Sankaropeka Jnana. So if these 4 conditions are fulfilled, then we will become the great disciple of a Buddha in our future lives. So if you have inclination towards becoming some great disciples in the future, you should practice accordingly, having these 4 things in mind. Then after that, he was born as a king for 500 lives. Why? Because he paid respect to the one who was worthy of paying respect. He paid respect to the Buddha, he paid respect to the Sangha. Because of this respect, he was born in a very high family of kings. Then 500 lives, he was always a king. Why? All those lives he also paid respect to his elder. He had metta towards his younger, and he had respect towards his elder. So whenever time arose, he used to have these qualities in his life. Then there was a time between Kassapa Buddha and our Buddha, not so long ago. So the Kassapa Buddha had taken parinibbana. Then the lifespan of human go down, 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 down. Then it went again up. So during those times, Pacceka Buddha arise in the world, because there is no Sammasambuddha and there is no teachings of the Buddha. So that is the time for Pacceka Buddhas to arise in the world. So it is the time between Buddha Gautama and Buddha Kassapa. So at that time, he was a wealthy person in Varanasi. And he noticed the Pacceka Buddhas, usually Pacceka Buddha, they are not alone. They are in groups, maybe group of 500, group of 1,000, like that. Although they are all enlightened by themselves, then all these Pacceka Buddhas stay together in the Himalaya, practicing meditation, going from Pindapata in that way. They don't teach others, but there are many Pacceka Buddhas. So there were some Pacceka Buddhas eating in the banks of Ganga river. So when this person saw, like Pacceka Buddha did not have proper place to sit and eat, so he prepared 7 seats out of rocks and stones with respect for the Pacceka Buddhas to be able to sit comfortably and eat their lunch after their Pindapata. So that was also another kamma which he showed respect to the person who is worthy of respect. So in the last life, he was born as a Sakyan prince in Kapilvastu, together with our Bodhisattva, not on the same day, but in the same family of our Bodhisattva. Then he also had some part of the Sakya country. When he grew up, when the Buddha already appeared, when he was of age, So the main king was Nanda, although Nanda was the king, but he would also have some portions of area as a king. He was ruling the second country. Then one day, Venerable Anuruddha, he asked his mother, he want to ordain under the Buddha's dispensation. He want to become a bhikkhu. He want to follow his brother, right? Then what did Bhante Anuruddha's mother say? Okay, if Bhaddiya agrees for ordination, you can ordain together with him. So that is his mother's permission. If Bhaddiya is ready to ordain, you can ordain together. If Bhaddiya doesn't want to ordain, you cannot ordain. Depends on Bhaddiya. So Anuruddha, he went to Bhaddiya, and 7 days, it took him 7 days to talk to Bhaddiya and let's go ordain, you know. Maybe in the beginning Bhaddiya don't want, but later after 7 days he agreed to ordain as a bhikkhu. Then they went together. So yesterday I already told, right? 6 brothers, they ordained together, right? Devadatta, Ananda, Bhaddiya, Anu. So they all ordained together under the Buddha's dispensation. Then the Buddha taught Bhante Bhaddiya meditation, samatha first. Based on samatha, he practiced vipassana. Then after attaining arahantship, he had attained arahantship together with patisambhida knowledges, 4 analytical knowledges. So he was announced by the Buddha as the foremost disciple of high class, Ucca Kulika, we say. So he was the great disciple who was from the highest class. So here we have one question, like there were many princes, like Bhante Ananda, Nanda. So they were all of high class, right? They were all high born. But why did Bhante Bhaddiya receive this foremost? The first thing is he fulfilled parami for having this title by the Buddha. That is one thing. Another thing, although in their last life everybody were Sakyan princes, but Bhante Bhaddiya, when the Buddha see, he became king for many lives. Many lives he was always high birth. Not only in his last life, but throughout samsara, he was always born as king or son of a very wealthy man. So in this way, he was always born in a high family. So that's why he received the foremost in highest family in the Buddha's dispensation. So this is Venerable Bhaddiya. So we can learn a lot from his story, like when we pay respect to someone by body, by speech, or by mind, then that is kusala, which will help us receive respect, because whenever we are born in such high place, automatically many people respect us. That is how come we show respect today. In the future, we will get respect from other people, That's why even in Anguttara Nikaya, Panchaka Nipata, Sapurisa Dana Sutta, in that sutta, the Buddha have mentioned five ways we should offer, Sapurisa Dana, that is the donation given by good people, is always fulfilled with 5 factors. So the second factor is Sakacca Danang Deti. So when we do offering, we should offer with due respect, paying respect. Respectfully we should offer, meaning, okay, you can give something to someone. This you can give like this also, okay, with one hand. Here, take. This is not sakacca, this is not out of respect. Or what you can do, you can hold with both hands on your knees and you can offer respectfully. So that when you offer respectfully, sitting on the ground, kneeling down and offering, that is called Sakacca Dana. So when you do that dana, the Buddha also say what is the benefit of offering in that way. is you receive respect in your future life. Yes, because of dana, you will be rich. That is natural. But because you did sakkacha dana, right? Not only dana, you did sakkacha dana, respectful dana. Because of that, in the future lives, people will respect you. Your family will respect you. If you have a family, your children will respect you. You can see many family, the mother, the father shouting their children many times, but they never listen. Or your friends, you try to talk to them, but they never listen to you. Or other people, whenever you try to talk, nobody listens to you. Why? That is because of the karma. We maybe in past life, some karma which we did not pay respect is giving results. So in this life, whatever we try, whoever we talk to, nobody listens to us. Nobody pays attention and nobody respects us. Why? It's our own karma. But if we do sakkacha dana, we will be rich together with getting respect from others. So in that sutta, it's very beautiful. There are five ways the Buddha has instructed how a good person offers anything. So this is the second point, sakkacha dana. So for Venerable Bhaddiya also, there was sakkacha dana. He offered to Padumuttara Buddha with great respect. Also, he offered to Pachika Buddhas with great respect. That's why for 500 lives he was born as a king, receiving respect from the whole country. When kings go out for a walk, what happens? Everybody on the floor, everybody pay respect to the king. Like that. Very, very beautiful thing. When we were small also, we have king in Nepal. So when the king used to go out, nobody hates the king. Everybody loves the king. Everybody respects the king. That is the nature of king. So that is all because of respect. If we show respect in future lives, we will also get respect. Then another question of Subha is why someone is stupid. What is the reason someone is stupid? He is not wise. So the Buddha say, whenever he meets with an ascetic or whenever he meets with someone who have wisdom like ascetics or an arahanta or pachika buddhas, he does not ask what is wholesome, what is unwholesome. He does not ask what is kusala, what is akusala. He does not ask what is mangala, what is amangala. He does not ask what is beneficial, what is unbeneficial. He does not ask what is right practice and what is wrong practice. So when the breakup of the body, that person will go to hell. And if by any chance he is reborn as a human, he will be very stupid. So here we should understand, just by not asking question, he does not go to hell. Okay? But the Buddha say he will go to hell. But we should also understand, okay, you meet the Buddha. You don't ask any question. You did not do any karma. Why you should go to hell? Right? If you don't ask question to anyone, it is neither kusala nor akusala. But why here the Buddha say you have to go to hell? Because of not asking question. So the reason is when you don't ask question, you don't know what is right and what is wrong. So often you will end up doing what is wrong. You don't know what is kusala, what is akusala. So often you will end up doing akusala. Because of these reasons, you don't ask question, you don't know what is right practice, what is wrong practice. So you end up doing wrong practice. Then after breakup of the body, beings will be reborn in hell. And if by any chance he comes back to the human world, what happens? He will become stupid, like Super Buddha. You know Super Buddha. Who is Super Buddha? Buddha's father-in-law. very stupid. Yashodhara's father, Venerable Devadatta's father, Buddha's father-in-law, no? Yashodhara and Devadatta's father, Super Buddha. So he was very angry with the Buddha. Why? He said, "Oh, I gave my daughter to him." But what did he do? Since when she just gave birth to a child, she was very weak, and she needed him the most when she gave birth. But he renounced the world on that very day. He left my daughter alone with a child. So he was very angry with the Bodhisattva. Now already the Buddha. The another thing he was also angry was when Venerable Devadatta wanted to become the chief of the Sangha, when he wanted to control all the Sangha. So when the Buddha found out about Venerable Devadatta's plan, what did the Buddha do? He had announced in the whole country, like, Buddha has nothing to do with Venerable Devadatta. And he don't want to teach anything to Venerable Devadatta, and also all the Sangha not to associate with Venerable Devadatta. So he had announced this throughout the country. So Super Buddha was also angry. He did bad to my daughter. He did bad to my son. In this way, he was very angry. So one day, the Buddha was going on Pindapata. Then what did Super Buddha do? He drinking alcohol, he make a boundary in the road. Then he sat down. I will not let the Buddha go to receive food today. Then another Bhantes, they went in front of the Buddha. They say, the teacher is coming, our teacher is coming. Please give way. But he didn't listen. 3 times they requested him, please give way for the Buddha. But he was very stupid. He didn't ask questions, although he was like a family member of the Buddha himself. He never asked questions. What is right? What is wrong? What should do? What should we do? What we should not do? So what he ended up doing? He ended up doing big akusala, because he doesn't know that if he blocks the way of the Buddha, he have to go to the hell. If he had asked question, he would have learned, right? I should not do this, otherwise I will suffer in hell. But he never asked any question, although the Buddha was his relative. So by not asking question, he could not separate what is good and what is bad, and he ended up doing what is bad. Then the Buddha turned back and he went. Then Super Buddha I think Buddha will backbite about me. The Buddha never backbites. He is Sugata. There is a reason why we call him Sugata, right? So he never backbites about anybody. But the Super Buddha Buddha will say something bad about him. So he sent one messenger, you go and listen what the Buddha will say. Then on the way back, Buddha smiled. Bhante Ananda asked, Bhante, why did you smile? What is the reason for your smile? Ananda, after 7 days, Super Buddha will die by the earth splitting under his home, and he will be reborn into a witchy hell because of the karma he just did today. So this messenger went to Super Buddha and he told, Buddha says such and such about you. Then he still does not feel any guilty, any remorse. He is very stupid. He thinks, I will prove him wrong. So what did he do? He went to his home. His home is 7 story, 7 story, 7 floors. 7 floors, very high. Maybe apartment nowadays we can call. He went back to his apartment. Then he climbed up to the top floor. We say penthouse these days, no? So he went up to his penthouse. Then what did he do? In his penthouse, he locked all the door, removed all the stairs, and he bought all the supplies necessary for him for 1 week. Then he was living peacefully. He said, I cannot die because I will never touch the ground. So I cannot die. I will prove the Buddha wrong. Then seventh day, what happened? One of his horse started getting mad, kicking everybody, running here and there, kicking everybody, injuring many people in the country. Only Super Buddha can control this horse. No one can control. So what happened? He had to go down to control this horse because many people were injured. The horse kicking, biting everybody. Then as soon as he was going down, he slipped, he fell down in the stairs and he died. Since he died over there and he was reborn in Awichi. So now he is together with his son in Awichi, father and son bonding. So if you have divine eye, you can see how Devadatta and Super Buddha are suffering in Avici here. So if you want to see them, how they are suffering because of their karma, you should meditate. You should meditate, try to finish 10 kashina, 8 attainments, practice them in 14 ways. Then if you have enough parami from your past life, after practicing 14 ways, then you will be able to discern all these hells depending on your past practice of Dibba-chakku. So this is the story of the stupid Super Buddha. Although there were many Sangha, although there were many bhikkhus, although there was the Buddha himself, he never went to ask any questions, to ask what is good, what is bad. But those people who ask what is good, what is bad, what happened to them, they know the way. So they could become chief disciples. They asked what is the practice to become a chief disciple. The Buddha taught you should have these 4 things, right? You should have these 4 things. Based on these 4 things, you should do kusala kamma. Then your wish will be true. When they learned about this, what happened? They have wisdom. So their life was better and better, better and better, better and better, until they attained Nibbana, special Nibbana, no? Becoming great disciple of the Buddha. Okay, now, how to become wise is the last question of Subha. So, the Buddha answered in this way: when someone, male or female, visits an ascetic or an arahanta, he asks what is kusala, what is akusala. He asks what is mangala, what is amangala. He asks what is beneficial, what is not beneficial. He asks what is the right practice, what is the wrong practice. Based on these questions, he will learn many things by which he will always do good things in his life. He will live his life with good conduct. He will live his life doing many kusala. Because of this reason, he will, after breakup of his body, after death, he will be reborn in a happy place, in the happy place among devas. But by any chance, if he returns back to human realm, he will be very wise. Why? Because he had asked many questions in the past. So he will be wise in such a sense that it will be natural to him. If someone teaches him wrong way, his wisdom will tell him, oh, this should not do like this. This is not correct. This is not the way. He can know by himself because he is wise. He has done the karma. He has asked the question in his past life, what is good practice, what is bad practice. So in the future, if he hears someone teaching him about bad practice, what will he do? It is not right. Similar to Princess Ruja. Princess Ruja. So although although her father had wrong view and her father tried to teach her, we are mistake, we should not do dana, you should not practice sila, you enjoy life. But she did not accept. She could not accept. Why? Many lives she had asked questions. What is good? What is bad? She was fulfilling parami, life after life. So her mind could not accept these things. So she also had to teach her father, right? Similarly, there is one Bhante who is regarded as the highest bhikkhu who had Patisambhita knowledge. Mahakotika Thera. Mahakotika. So all the great disciples' story actually is somewhat similar. So always starting from Padumuttara Buddha time, having sila, asking question how to become great disciple, then learning, practicing meditation, offering. For 7 days he also offered to the Buddha and 100,000 bhikkhu. At the end of his offering, he wished, I did not do this offering to become rich. I do not want this offering to make me healthy. I do not want this offering to make me strong. I only want to do this offering because in the future I want to be someone like this Bhante, like that. That was their wish, only wish, is fulfilling parami to become the great disciple of a Buddha. So time passed away. Then in our Buddha time also, he was born in a good family, very wise. Since small, he is very wise. He learned all the Vedas. He could memorize all Veda. And as a Brahmin, very sharp. Then when he saw the Buddha one day, he wanted to become bhikkhu. So he became ordained as a bhikkhu, and very short time he became arahanta together with Patisambhida knowledges. Then later the Buddha called all the Sangha and he said, among my bhikkhus who have Patisambhida knowledges, he is the foremost. Why? Because that life, although becoming arahanta, he used to go to the Buddha and ask many things related to, like some Pali, related to grammar, related to the Dhamma, related to Chitta, Chaitasika. He always went and used to ask these questions to the Buddha. Also to Bhante Sariputta, he used to always go. Both are Arahanta, right? But he used to go to Bhante Sariputta and ask deep questions like, Bhante, what is the difference between various kinds of liberation? And what is the difference and what is the similarity between various kinds of liberation? So very deep Dhamma, even the question difficult for us to understand. So he used to ask these questions to Bhante Sariputta. What is Chitta? What is wisdom? Like, for example, what is Panya? What is Abhinya? Okay, I should say in English. So what is wisdom? What is direct knowledge? And what is full understanding? What are the differences? So when we say it looks similar, right? So what is wisdom? What is direct knowledge? What is full understanding? So all these kind of questions he used to ask to Bhante Sariputta, to the Buddha. So he became the foremost bhikkhu who have deep analytical knowledge of the Dhamma. He had analyzed the Dhamma a lot in great detail. That's why we say Patisambhida knowledge, analytical knowledge. So if we have habit of asking questions regarding to deep dhammas, regarding to text, regarding to Pali, regarding to commentary, then we are accumulating karma of wisdom. So life after life, it will give result for us to become wise and wise. The more question we ask, the more wise we become. So these are all the stories and all the karma and karma results. How people become the great disciple, or how people, because they are stupid, they had to suffer in hell, they had to have short life, they have to become low born in this way. So these are 14 questions asked by the Brahman Subha, and these are the 14 answers that the Buddha himself delivered. So now we have finished understanding regarding karma and karma result in quite detail. But in order to fully understand it, we should also understand what is called paticca samuppada. Without understanding paticca samuppada, we can never fully understand karma and karma result. So I will try to give one example of paticca samuppada, how paticca samuppada is working when these Bhantes and these great people were accumulating their wholesome karma. So let us take any story. Now you have many stories. So whose example you want to take? Anyone is okay. Okay, so we can take Bhante's. Whose example? Anyone, Bhante. Okay, we can do Bakula, Venerable Bakula. Huh? Bhante Ananda. Okay, so actually any is okay, just general understanding of paticca samuppada. So all of these great disciples in the time of Padumuttara Buddha, they had accumulated wholesome karma, right? They did kusala, but they have one attachment. They see the bhikkhu, right? Maybe someone is great in metta, someone is great in dutanga, someone is great in this and that. So when they see this Bhante, they think, this Bhante is great in. Okay, so Bhante Bakula saw the Bhante who was very healthy. So he also want to become someone like him, very healthy. So actually, if you see someone like that, then that we call is avijja. That is ignorance. Because actually, there is no human being who is healthy in that way. It is just our wrong view. There is no me, there is no person, there is no I. It is all only wrong view because of avijja, because we have not penetrated the first noble truth. We see beings as beings. We cannot see them as nama and rupa because we do not understand the first noble truth. Then what happened? Because of that avijja, he have tanha, attachment. I want to be like him. I want to be like him. I want to be like him. He is thinking. So that is tanha. Repeated thinking of this is called upadana. Continue again and again. I want to be like him. Even the bodhisattva, right? I want to be Buddha. I want to be Buddha. I want to be Buddha. Because of that, he fulfilled parami. So that is based on akusala. All the wholesome karma you are doing is based on what? Avijja, tanha, and upadana. There is no such thing called Buddha. There is no one who is becoming Buddha, and there is no one who can be Buddha actually. But we have avijja, so we understand a Buddha with 9 knowledge, 9 attributes, very respected. So we have saddha. Because of wrongly understanding, because of avijja, tanha, upadana, we have saddha to become Buddha now. We want to be Buddha, or we want to be a great disciple. Based on those akusala, what we do? We do 10 parami, right? We accumulate dana, we do sila, we do nekkhamma, we do panya, we do viriya, we do khanti, we do satcha, we do metta, we do upekha, we do adhitthana. These 10 parami we fulfill life after life, life after life, based on avijja, tanha, and upadana. So these three, avidya, tanha, upadana, is the cause for kusala kamma to arise. So, when we are doing this kamma, what happens? There is the chetana. So, chetana we call bhava. So, these five factors, if these five factors are fulfilled, we will have future life. No one can stop. So, if we have avidya, ignorance, tanha, craving, upadana, clinging, kamma, wholesome and unwholesome kamma, and sankhara. Sankhara here is the wholesome and unwholesome kamma. Then is bhava. Bhava means kamma bhava. So when you have these five factors, avijja, tanha, upadana, sankhara, and bhava, you will have rebirth. You will have future life. What will arise in the future is new nama and rupa will arise. Based on these wholesome and unwholesome action, new nama rupa will arise. Then that life also, if you still have avidya, what happens? You will do more kamma. Based on those kammas, again, you will have new nama rupa. Still, if there is avidya, then those kamma will give result to another. In this way, that's why the Buddhas use the word samsara. Khandanancha patilabha dhatu ayatanancha. So that is when we receive the five aggregates, we receive 18 elements, we receive 6 ayatana. And these elements, khanda, these five aggregates, they continuously keep on arising and perishing, arising and perishing, arising and perishing. That is why it is called samsara. This is the meaning of samsara. Life after life, we are getting new aggregates. As soon as they are arising, what happens? They pass away. Then new aggregates arise, pass away. New aggregates arise, pass away. Even in this sitting, many million times aggregates have arisen and passed away. New aggregates. Every time new aggregates arise. That is why it is samsara. So this is how paticca samuppada is working. Based on avijja, tanha, upadana, we are doing wholesome and unwholesome kamma. So when this thing is fulfilled, it will give results in the future. And in that future life also, we will have avijja, tanha, upadana, we will do some sankhara and kamma. And based on those, we will again have new nama rupa. So this is the workings of kamma. So whenever we are doing dana, sila, we always have avijja. We always have tanha because I want to offer to Saroji. Okay, already avijja. That's why you want to offer to Saroji. Right? Why? Because you believe Saroji as a person. You have saddha. Why is that saddha? Because of avijja. That's why it is mentioned, Bhante Ananda could take care for the Buddha 20 or 25 years. How much? Kati ho? 20 ki 25 वर्ष? 20 हैन? 20 years. So Bhante Ananda took care of the Buddha 20 years. So there is a reason, you should understand here. Very, very interesting point. If Bhante Ananda was an arahanta, he could not have taken care of the Buddha like he did for those 20 years. Why? He doesn't have any avijja. He doesn't have wrong view. So the saddha, there is the saddha for the Buddha. But his saddha as a sotapanna was so strong. From 2 o'clock till morning 4 o'clock, the Buddha used to lie down, enter into some attainment and rest his body. So Bhante Ananda clearly knows nothing can hurt the Buddha. Nothing can give any problems to the Buddha. But what he used to do because of his saddha, he used to burn fire and go around Buddha's Gandakuti, checking for snakes, checking for scorpions. If they go into my Buddha's room, he might get hurt. Something he knows, nothing can hurt, but still he have that saddha. So when the Buddha is resting, he used to go round and round Buddha's Gandakuti, so that. But if Bhante Ananda was an arahant, would he have done that? Is the question, right? Because the saddha he had for the Buddha came because he was not yet fully enlightened. He was just sotapanna. So he still have avidya, he still have tanha, he still have upadana. As a sotapanna, he has all these dhammas. He can also think, this is my Buddha. And he has that saddha to do such devoted work that no other bhikkhus did. The Buddha had many attendant bhikkhu, many, but only Bhante Ananda was the best. Because so there is this saying, like if Bhante Ananda would have become arahanta, maybe the devotion he did towards the Buddha as an arahanta cannot arise. Those kind of mind, those kind of devotion need some kind of ignorance for that wholesome action to do. Otherwise, if he only see Buddha as nama rupa, anicca dukkha anatta, then he would have done his duty, but only as to fulfill his duty, but not as to having attachment with the Buddha and doing with such great respect. So that's why whatever we do, since the time we wake up, there is avidya, tanha, upadana always hiding in our mind. So even though we don't want avidya to arise, but it's out of our control. It's always arising, always arising. That's why we are always making some kammas, be it kusala or akusala. So these are the ways Paticca Samuppada is working in brief. These are the ways how kamma and kamma result are working. So today, after finishing kamma paccaya, I think everybody have quite clear understanding about kamma result, about wholesome, unwholesome, about various things that we should learn from these suttas and apply in our life. So may you all be able to practice the 3 trainings and realize whatever your wish is soon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Any question? No question. Any question? No question. Okay. No question is good question. Pacceka Buddha can give prophecy to future Pacceka Buddhas, future chief disciples, and future great disciples. They cannot give prophecy to future Sammasambuddha. Only to future Sammasambuddha they cannot give, but those similar to them and lower to them, they can give.
Is there an example of Pacceka Buddha gives a prophecy in before our Buddha's time?
Maybe, but I don't know. Should be. If you read, should be, but I don't know.
If someone already gets the prophecy from a Buddha, but he can't remember in the many lives, will he get the prophecy again from some other?
Yeah. They will give prophecy again and again. So future chief disciple can give prophecy for future chief disciples. They cannot give prophecy for Pacceka Buddhas and Sammasambuddha. But future chief disciple can know someone, if he is going to be chief disciple, they can say, you will be chief disciple after this many time. Like that. They can even give prophecy for great disciples. Because under their wisdom, that is under their wisdom sector. For example, if you have already passed grade 10, you can teach to grade 9 students, right? Because you know what they are learning. But you cannot teach to someone who is in bachelor level, right? Similar to that. So if you are a Pacceka Buddha, you can teach to other Pacceka Buddhas and great disciples, but you cannot prophesy for Sammasambuddha. It's like bachelor level. But for Sammasambuddha, if you are a PhD, you can say to everybody, right? Like that. So Sammasambuddha's knowledge is on the top, so he can give prophecy for everyone. But others, they cannot give prophecy who have higher knowledge or who takes longer time to fulfill parami. It is based on parami. Because Pacceka Buddha can only see for 2 asankhya. Beyond that, they cannot see. So if someone will become great disciple, is only 1 asankhya and 100,000 kappa. So they can check the future and give prophecy like that. Because it is within their range. But if someone wants to be Sammasambuddha, at least have to fulfill 4 asankhya. So that is not in the wisdom of Pacceka Buddha. They cannot see that far. So they cannot give prophecy. That is the idea.
If a wisdom style bodhisattva become Buddha, can he predict more than 4 asankhya?
For Buddhas, there is no limit. Even 1,000 asankhya, they know. There is no limit for the Buddha's knowledge. Anavara jnana.
You say that like the Buddha or as a great hunter because of the greed of the Tanha. So they are and reborn and powers like when we do the kusala, for example, how to think the right way.
So this one, the Buddha already teaches the best way. He checked with his knowledge many ways and he teaches the best way. Idam me punyam asavakhaya vahang hotu. Idam me punyam nibbanasa pachayo hotu. That is the best way. This is the teachings of the Buddha. He teaches in this way because this is the best way. Okay?
And then, for example, everyone would like to offer Sedoshi, and because they think Sedoshi will be the Buddha in the future or something like that, and they think they are more kusala, more punya. So for Kunti Parami, we need that like Parami or Punya.
Is different. This punya and parami is different. So if you want to have punya, you offer Sedoji. Because he is the very eldest bhikkhu, long life, great meditation teacher, very pure sila, everything. So if you offer Sedoji, yeah, will be very high punya. But if you want to fulfill parami, for parami you need to see the receiver. You need to have, like, how to say, for parami you have to see the receiver. Like if for Sedoji, if you offer, actually he doesn't need, right? He doesn't need. But because you want punya, you offer him. But if you see him, actually he doesn't need anything. So if you want to fulfill parami, you should help someone who really needs. You should give dana to someone who really needs, so that will become parami. Strong parami. Yeah, if you offer to Sedoji wishing for nibbana, that is also parami, sure. But punya is high, parami will be not so much. But if you give to someone who really needs, your parami is high, punya will be less. Okay? So that is the difference between punya and parami. Because whenever we are fulfilling parami, the Pali says two things we have to remember is Mahakaruna and Upaya Kosala. So these are the two things based on what we fulfill parami. So Mahakaruna, we should have compassion to the person. That's how we can fulfill parami. And another Upaya Kosala is we should be skillful in accumulating parami. Although we have difficult situation, we are suffering a lot, but we should have skillful, or this is fulfillment of this parami. This is the fulfillment of that parami, and we should have patience. I can give you one example. Okay. You know, you can fulfill all 10 parami when one mosquito bites you. So that is panya, you know, this is called upaya kosala. If you meditate, one mosquito, if you want to fulfill parami, you do not put mosquito net. Okay, so when you meditate, mosquito will come bite you. You will, okay, you have intention, I want to offer my blood, because he really needs, this mosquito is hungry. So he really needs it, right? Although punya is not so high, offering a mosquito, but parami will be high, because that mosquito is hungry for maybe many days. He really needs the blood. So you to do dana parami. Then second, what have you have sila, I will not kill him. I will not remove him. Sila, you will not kill. So sila parami, out of compassion. Mahakaruna, upaya kosala. So I am giving you example of upaya kosala, no? Skillful in fulfillment of parami. You should be very skillful. Then only you can fulfill parami. So, okay, sila. Dana, sila, cha, nekkhamma. You are relinquishing your own blood. You don't have attachment to your blood, or I will get sick. I might have malaria. I might have dengue. You don't have attachment to your body at that time. Although I am sick, no problem. I will offer, right? That's why only great people can fulfill parami. Only people, that's why they become such great disciples, such great beings like the Buddha. If everybody can do, then everybody become Buddha. It's not easy, right? So you don't care about getting sick or this or that. Nekkhamma parami. Danang silancha nekkhamang panya viriyena. Okay, panya and viriya. So you have wisdom. I am fulfilling parami. You have wisdom. I'm doing dana. Because of this dana, I will have good results in the future. You have these wisdom. Viriya. Although you want to, it's itchy, but you are controlling your mind. Although you want to remove this mosquito, with viriya, you are suppressing your mind. Don't itch. So you have mentally viriya. For kusala to arise. There are 4 things in viriya. Arisen kusala dhamma, you try to sustain. So this is kusala dhamma arising. Because of itchiness, maybe you want to stop. But okay, no, control. So viriya parami. Danang silancha nekkhamang panya viriyena panchamang khanti. Okay, you have to suffer. So you have to endure itchiness. Sometimes, the mosquito also very, sometimes it's very like, they drill here, no? Then they want to drink, but maybe not good spot. So what they do, they remove the drill, walk maybe 2 steps, then again drill, then again take out, again drill. One mosquito will drill 5 or 6 times. You have to endure. Why? You just drink lah. Why you have to do again and again like that? So khanti parami, you are fulfilling khanti parami. Khanti, satcha, so truth, you are truthful. You want to give so you have in your mind, no? I will let you drink my blood as much as you want. And this is the practice of parami. So that is truth practice, the practice of satcha. the right practice, the correct practice of fulfilling parami. So such a parami also in there, if you have this knowledge. Aditthana, you determine, until and unless this mosquito flies away by himself, I will not remove him. I will not use any virya until and unless this mosquito fly by himself. You know, sometimes they don't even fly. They drink so full, they just sit here. Because I think they also feel like we are not doing anything. They don't fly. They just maybe sleep here or something. They don't do anything. They don't even fly. So happen like that. Aditthana. Then metta. You should have metta for this mosquito. Right? Without metta, you cannot give your blood. Khanti, metta, mit upekha. Also, you need equanimity of them. You need balance. You need to balance your mind. You know, sometimes your saddha, your wisdom is so strong, you feel even 100 mosquito come, I will offer. Yeah, you will have that kind of mind if you start this practice. You really feel even 100 mosquito I can offer. You know, because your paramis, everything is so strong and your practice is getting better, even 100 mosquito I can offer. But you have to balance your mind, upekha. You know, sometimes even one mosquito, he bites 6 places, itching 6 places, you are angry. You have to balance your mind. Why? Just one place, drink and go lah. Why you have to do many times, right? So sometimes like that. Sometimes even 100 mosquito can come and drink, no problem. So have to balance your mind with upekha parami. So see, this is called upaya kosala in Pali. When you are fulfilling parami, or when bodhisattvas fulfill parami, they have these 2 things, mahakaruna, upaya kosala. So if you are skillful in fulfilling parami, even one mosquito, you are fulfilling not only parami, upaparami also. Not only normal parami, no? The second step, upaparami, you are fulfilling upaparami. So it is called upaya kosala. You should be skillful in fulfilling parami, then you can fulfill parami. Otherwise, not so easy to fulfill parami. Maybe from tomorrow, nobody will put mosquito net now.
One question. Let's suppose if Buddha is delivering Dhamma talk, and if there Anatpida, the disciple are sitting, so if he calls the person as Anatpida, then how the Buddha is doing? Like, it's actually the wrong view. Maybe the Buddha is just saying Ram.
Buddha cannot have wrong view, Bhante.
I mean, how the Buddha will be taking.
For Buddha, he will. For Arahantas, is like this: 24-hour, you will only see Nama and Rupa arising perishing. 24-hour, if you pay attention to someone, he's just kalapa, arising perishing. So Ditti cannot arise. 24-hour. Only the time when they incline to see concept, they can see concept. Naturally, for us, okay, now we always see concept naturally. In order to see Nama Rupa, we have to have samadhi, do vipassana many times. Then, okay, if someone have good vipassana knowledge, they can switch. They can switch to see Nama Rupa or to see concept, if someone's vipassana knowledge is very strong. But for Buddhas and Arahantas, 100 naturally is only Nama Rupa. Cannot, that's why they enter into jhana. That's why they enter into fruition attainment. That's why they enter into Nirodha Samapatti. Why? They don't see anything in the world. Everything is just kalapas, just disappearing. So they want to enter into jhana. To feel blissful. They always see dukkha. They always see anicca. But in the time, okay, giving Dhamma talk. If Buddha just talk with Paramatha, nobody will understand. So the Buddha used concepts. He used concepts, he used examples. Does not mean he is understanding them. Okay, when Buddha say Anathapindika, he never understands Anathapindika as a person, as a being. He just used that word as a concept for others to understand. But in his mind, it's just Nama Rupa arising and perishing. but he can use these concepts as words. So it's like switching. If they want to pay attention to concept, they can only pay attention to concept. If they do not pay that attention, everything is just arising and perishing. Always, continuously, 24 hours.
So if he wants to just call somebody, then only switch to concept. Otherwise,
Always the wisdom is always knowing everything. For us, we only pay attention to concept. We cannot see Namarupa. For them, they only pay attention to Namarupa. So when they want, they can change into concepts. Then they know, oh, this is iPad, this is Uviveka, this is Usala, like that. Just using as concept for other people to understand. Otherwise, nobody will understand Buddha's teaching.
When the chief disciple or great disciple gives a prophecy to someone, or even show some other psychic power, so Buddha not allowed bhikkhu to show psychic power, but in what case they can show, like give people confidence?
No, it was like before Buddha make the rule, they used to do. But once Buddha made the rule, then they don't do.
But like Mahamoggallana, he did so many times. Even after rules, he also sometimes go to the heaven.
We don't know. Maybe that might not be after rule. Maybe it can be before rule. Yeah. We don't know it's after rule. So I don't think. Usually it's mentioned once the Buddha made the rule, all his Arya bhikkhus never break. That is mentioned.
In our modern society, if some bhikkhu have this kind of power, he feel, if I use this power to tell him about the past life or future life, maybe will bring him more saddha. Is that allowed?
No. The Buddha say, if you install faith in this way, it's like a woman selling her body for money. So if you show psychic power, if you tell them your past life, this, that, they have saddha, they give you dana. It's like a woman receiving money, earning money by selling her body. If bhikkhu do like that, that is maybe bhikkhu prostitute. Prostitute bhikkhu, like that. Yeah, Buddha himself said. So we should not even, and he screamed to maybe somewhere Ariyas also. Some Bhantes were Ariya at that time. Sotapannas, some were not, somewhere. So they did not receive any dana. So they go to the devotee, oh, you know that Bhante is Sotapanna. You know that Bhante is Anagami, like that. And some say, oh, you know that Bhante is this. So there were groups of, I think 5 or 6 bhikkhus. So they did in that way. Then they start receiving a lot of dana. Then when the Buddha hear about this, then he give this simile. It's like similar to the woman selling her body for money. You are also receiving this dana, is the same. So when you show your psychic power or when you tell about your knowledge and they have saddha, then it is pachitiyapati. Another time also I told this story for Pindula Bharadwaja, Venerable Pindula Bharadwaja and Bhante Mahamoggallana. So they also show psychic power to install faith in the country. So at that time also the Buddha rebuked them. Yeah, so it's like that.
And about this indicate, if I don't have the intention to get the dana for this group, only for these lay people's own benefit. For example, I see that bhikkhu is a sotapanna. If you go to worship him, you can get more benefit. Is this okay? Not for my benefit, not for him, just for these lay people's own benefit.
Up to you lah. Up to you. You see condition and you do.
But is there a way, let's say someone in the past life aspiring for something, but they themselves don't know. Like, what if I want to be Visakha or somebody in Buddhism, but I don't know that. What is the time a person knows?
Usually some lives they know, some lives they don't know. But usually in the Buddha's time, if they have good concentration, good meditation, they can know, because they can see their past lives and they can know. Another time, if they are ascetic meditating, then with power of meditation they can know, to make sure. Otherwise, for many lives they will just have inclination and habitual practice. Like life after life, it will become like habitual practice for them. So on the lives they know, they will aspire for it and do more karma. So all this karma is like habit. So next life, although they don't know, they will be giving dana, they will be practicing sila. Whenever they hear about the Dhamma, they will be happy. So it will be like inside them. Life after life will go after one after one. But for Buddhas, most of the life they know. Yeah, they desire for Sabbanyutanyana, so they know. For Buddhas, is different. For great disciple, other disciple is different. Okay, we should share merit and finish. So tomorrow we will start Ahara Pachayo. Idam me punyang asavakhaya vahang hotu. Idam me punyang nidanasa pachayo hotu. Mama punya bhagang sabba satanang vibhajemi te sabbe me samam punya bhagang labhantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.